Hey guys, UC here from iTradePrice. Hope everybody is doing well. It is Thursday night, around 10:30 Eastern. So I just thought of making a little video of what happened in the markets today. It's pretty crazy, unexpected, but that's what defines the market, right? So, we can go through some of the charts in light of what was shared in the morning and how you could have traded that, and just kind of helps you plan your trade, helps you understand my thought process, the way I write notes in the morning, how you can interpret them and kind of go from there. Okay, so the morning thing was that we were sideways, right? The market was stuck between 298.4 on the top. I'm talking about QQQ, right? And on the support side, 295 to 294.5 has been providing the support since the past 3 sessions, right? So anything above that was sort of a breakout trade, or anything below that was a bearish breakout trade, right? Towards, and if we are to break on the upside, we can anticipate a move towards the next top resistance, or this downtrend line, right? And if we break down, then definitely the next support kind of comes into play. SPY, similar way, right? We had a nice bearish looking bar, and then we had a pause day, and then we were like, okay, it could be a reversal, or if it could be sideways, and that's sort of the thought process. Now let's look at what happened in QQQ, right? I'm going to pull that chart up. So on my left side, you have the 5-minute view, right? And on the daily, on the right side, you have the daily view, right? So of course, a nice healthy looking bearish trend bar, right from the 301.2 resistance level. So let's see what happened in the morning, right? I'm gonna try to go, maybe let's go drill down to 3-minute bar, right? Maybe you trade in 5-minute, maybe you trade in 2-minute, 15-minute, doesn't matter, but I'm just gonna try to show you the price action by itself, right? So we said, if you remember, 298.4 was the resistance up top. Anything above that, we were looking to be on the bullish side, right? And anything below that, we would be in range. And to get bearish, of course, you have to evaluate the price action as it goes and happens. So when the market opened, right, this is the market opened, the first 3-minute bar sort of filled the gap to the downside, right? The gap is basically, what it means is that you closed the previous day here, you opened up here around 298.3, so there was a gap, right? The price went down in the first 3-minute bar, almost filled the gap and came back up. Buyers saw it as an opportunity to grab the shares, or whatever you want to call it, in the index. And then the next bar was a nice bullish bar, right? Buyers really gave it a nice follow through, and then you can see there was no bearish trend bar. So that's an indication that the level is holding, so you can get into calls or you can buy this, right? I'm trading myself as well. Annie's trading on we do tell you in advance as much as possible, as much as throughout the market open. But this is the price action as it's happening. You have to learn how to evaluate the price action as it's happening, right? Sometimes the volume help, right? You can see the volume was above average and all green volume, right here, all buyer volume. If you don't have that, maybe you can get that or something, but that really helps. It gives you a good dimension of the underlying price structure, right? And now these levels are not updated for tomorrow, right? So I'm just trying to show you exactly how they were presented in the morning, right? So all 3-minute bars, bullish bars, no bearish bar, and even if you get a bearish bar, it was not seeing a downside follow through. So all those things, right? You have to kind of you have to learn these things. So once it broke out of 299.8, there was no retest of that in the near immediate future, and then the price pushed back, up towards 301. So that was the first half an hour, right? And it then kind of kept on moving sideways, right? Until we saw a big drop here back from 299.8 to 298.4, and you can see how the market bounces at these levels, right? So you can just maybe play a first touch bounce in the money call 298C, and as soon as it jumps maybe $1.50, you shed like 50% of the contracts and see if the remaining can keep going up, or if not, take a stop loss at break even, right? Things of that nature. And once that broke down right here, it was slightly increased volume, and you can see, if there was any increased buyer volume, it was not seeing any upside push or follow through, right? So once we broke down 298.4, that was a major level, right, which we initially held in the morning. And once we broke down below that 297.2, it couldn't even hold that, and then just free fall. And then of course you kind of feel the market, you see the volume increasing, panic sets in, and then we just kind of keeps on taking lows one after the low. But you can see how price tries to bounce from these levels, right? And it was not. So you're not supposed to be buying these, not trying to catch the bottom. Don't do that, right? Instead, look for strength to short, right? Once it broke down to 97, you could see all bearish trend bars. No bullish bars were seeing any upside follow through, and even the bullish bars that you were seeing, they were kind of overlapping. So that tells you that it's under pressure, because the overlapping means that it's just sideways, right? Even if it's green. And then it just kept on falling down all the way till the end of market, till we get closed, right? Similar thing for SPY as well, right? If you look at it in the morning, it was a little bit better, but the first 5 minutes, 6 minutes, it just kept on pushing up, and then quickly it reached all the way to the top for 1.5. Couldn't make it all the way up towards 4.2, 4.3.3 level, but it was relatively weak. So it just kind of kept on going sideways. Now let's look at a couple of names that we traded today, right? Specifically, I traded Apple as well, but Amazon, right? Amazon daily bar yesterday was a hammer. Okay, blah blah blah. Need to break the DTL, right, which is this one, on a higher time frame to get bullish. But yesterday, right, the gap fill, I like playing gap fills. Price goes to the gap fill, you buy it there with a tight stop loss, maybe once support level down, it went back up all the way, and today we saw a nice move up to the upside. Now let's go see how Amazon acted, or how you could have traded, right, based on the levels, based on the morning notes, right? So Amazon yesterday, right, this is the gap fill move right here, right? 10 o'clock, or in the first half an hour filled the gap, and then we never saw if the price go back down there. We closed nicely, and today the first 3-minute bar after open, we pushed right there. We touched 94.2, and then we eventually, the next 3-minute bar broke out, right? High volume bar, right? So that's your tell. And remember, 95 was the level we were trying to say, okay, if it goes above that, it's bullish, right? So even if you don't want to play that on the first push up because you're sort of skeptical that the breakout might fail, that's fine. Let it go up. It went up. It kept on going up. You try to get back on it on the retest, right? And it exactly did that. It went from 95.1, tested the 95.8 level. Again, these levels are from the morning, right? So they're not updated to reflect what's going to happen tomorrow, but I just kept it like that so that you could see how price respects these levels, right? It touched that, came back down, retest, you buy there, 95.1, you don't get long there. It went up around $1.20, right? For Amazon, that kind of stock, which is under $100, right? That's a decent price movement. Now let's go see if you had gotten in 95C at that level, right, which was when around 10:15, right? So let me try to pull 95C, and we could see how the price did that, right? 95, right? 10:15, right? So if you had gotten long here, right here at the retest, you would have been getting in around 1.15 or whatever, 1.2 maybe. It went all the way till 1.7, right? That's, I don't know, that's more than 50, 60, 70%, right? So you could book gains at 50%, 1.5, right? 50% out, and then see if it pushes higher, raise your stop loss on the remaining. So there are ways you can play these things with levels, okay? Now let's take a look at another one. Tesla, right? We all play that, actually. NVIDIA. We said no daily close above 242.5 so far. So the potential or the chance for a breakout failure is higher because you really need to see a close above that, and then you can be bullish above that level, right? Yes, you want to play a breakout. Sure, if you're a fast trader, active trader, you can do that. You can take a chance. But for me, the risk to reward was not there, right? So I went ahead and opened the bearish call spread, right? And my call spread was that if on the push higher right here, that as long as the price remains below 250 on my sell strike, I was okay. So there was no way I was going to go to 250. I mean, yes, there could have been, but the chances were lower, right? So that's why on the push higher, and once it failed the upside move, I got in bearish call spread, right? You can see the volume increased as well right there, right? So I wasn't playing calls on it. I mean, I was playing the bearish side, but through the calls, right? I was selling the premium. I was selling the calls. So the people who were buying the calls on the push higher, I was selling it to them, right? That's how my sort of brain works. That the risk to reward is not there on the upside. So that's why I was selling it, right? But the price action that I was looking for, this particular name was a failure above 242.5. That's it, right? And that's what I had. Market gave it to me. First failure right here after open, second failure right here, right? And that's it. And even this one, third one, right? The push higher, no follow through above that level. That tells you that it's weak. Now on a daily chart, this is a good established weekly resistance now for the past 4 days, right? And now this is the support level, 233.9, right? So will it bounce from here? I don't know. I'm not playing calls on this one. There's no reason to do that. There's no reason to try to buy it unless we get some indication of this price holding this level. Now let's look at Tesla, because that's the name. I personally trade a lot, and I know a lot of people here on the platform also does that. So Tesla gave an indication of weakness when it could not get above 186 level on Wednesday right session. So now another gap down, 179 to 182 is support, right? 189 to 182 is support, right? That's what I mentioned over there. This is how it looked in the weekly. So now let's get back into, so below 180, basically below 186, 179, it was bearish. Okay. Now let's look at what happened in our Tesla stock. I actually took a little bit of loss on this one in the morning, right? It filled the gap. I got in, I shorted the stock as it filled the gap, but it stopped me out as it moved back above 184, right? But anyways, forget about what I did. We'll see what happens. So if you had taken a short here, just like I would have, or I did, you would have taken a loss, right? Because the market was pushing higher, and it was, again, it pushed above 184 and back on 184. It did not hold that support at all, right? Ideally, I would definitely have shorted above one if it had gone towards 186.5, because if you go back, that's where it got rejected from the previous day, right? It opened up, it went back up, the first 3-minute bar, it got rejected. So take short there and put your stop loss above this gap fill, right? Even if it had gone above, back up, there was a chance that it would fail at the gap fill. So put your stop loss above that, and you could have enjoyed this ride towards the downside the day before. But now let's go back to today. All right, so big rejection above 184, right? And then it just went sideways. It was weak. That's not how a bullish chart looks like. It couldn't even reclaim when the market was, kind of exploding. It couldn't even go towards 186. So you kind of have to do a little bit of analysis and broaden your thinking horizon, that what the price did at this particular level the last time it traded here, right? It got rejected, and we saw that same rejection here. So big selling volume, you can see that, right? Increasing selling volume as the buyers were buying. On the later half of the first 30 minutes, the selling volume increased. So that means there's nobody trying to get long here. So, and then once the price broke down below 179.9, which was the morning low, right? I know that was the time to short more, right? Because it retested that level after breaking down, and it kept on breaking down again. Right over here, 178 key level, we saw a little bit of weak bounce, maybe $1.50, and that kept on going down, right? And you can see that the 3-minute bars show you the dominance is in the bearish trend bars, right? So, and any increase in the volume that is above average is selling volume, right? More of that, right? So that kind of price action tells you that the price is weak, right? So 178 broke down, it went to 176.1. You know, it kind of bounced back from there, dollar and a half. You know, tried to retest this 178 level, couldn't do that. And then you can adjust this level, right, from here to this one, right, 177.6. Now that's a good level for tomorrow as well, right? So why did I adjust to this level? Because that's where multiple touch points are, and a couple of other rules I follow. What are those rules? Well, I've gone through those rules and sort of logic in my trading course that I have developed. So if you're interested in that, you can definitely consider that, because that conversation is outside the scope of this video review. But yeah, so that price action was weak, and now we can adjust this one to right here, 175.3. okay, for tomorrow. So that's how you could have traded. And now on a daily chart, daily view, Tesla completely broken down, right? 186.6 or 187 is our new established structural resistance. I think we can keep going down towards 165 to 163 before any real reversal happens. So, you know, maybe some sideways movement since we got down big pretty quickly, and then, you know, a retest over this 163 level, because that's where multiple touch points are as well now. Okay, hope you guys like this little video. You know, we do a lot of hard work. We try to post these things as soon as possible. We see as soon, you know, we see the setup. But if you have any questions, or, you know, if you want to ask myself or any, I know a lot of you people came via the Facebook group as well. I know Annie is very active there. She likes to help people a lot there. In the next few weeks, I want to do more videos on some systematic trading approaches, because, you know, a lot of times these beginners, people who are just starting up, they struggle with consistency. And for that, you know, you have to have some sort of systematic system that, you know, logic that you can base your trades on. And I have a couple of them that I can share with you. They're based on indicators and some price action rules. And you can see if you like them. You know, you can definitely try them in different time frames as such, or however you want to do that. Okay, guys, hope you guys like this little video, and have a great rest of your night, and talk to you guys tomorrow morning. Good night.